Yo, what's going on, boys? Today we have the Neca. I'm not sure which year, but we got King Kong. This might be 1919 something, fill in the blank. So, today we do have. Oh my god, another amazing NECA figure. I gotta say, NECA, you've done it again. They just keep producing amazing, high quality stuff. Like, look at that. Just look at that. How is that? Like, look at how's that not high quality? And I gotta say, this guy, if NECA is usually a lot of bang for your buck, but this big monkey right here, he is an unbelievable showing of that. Like, just look at the size of him. This figure was only $30, $29.99. It is unbelievable. But let me just, I'm getting carried away here. Let's take a look at the box. So, the whole thing can't even fit in. But here we got the nice box. I believe at the moment this is more exclusive to Target, or you can only find it at Target at the moment. I'm pretty sure on Instagram they said it was be Target exclusive for a little while and then it'll get released everywhere else. And I gotta say, if you don't have a Target, or it's hard to find, well, these aren't even hard to find. There's about 20 of them at my Target, but if you don't have a Target, I feel bad for you because this guy is unbelievable. And getting him right now, I think he was supposed to come out more Father's Day, which it's pretty early for that. But he came with some heat. He came in swinging. So, we'll look at some paint and sculpt. The paint and sculpt on this guy is unbelievable. I think the sculpt really, you can just, he's got battle scars on the chest. Every bit of fur is all sculpted nicely. The feet are all even sculpted nicely for all you weirdos out there that like that monkey toes. I think the light just died, maybe. But all the hair is sculpted nicely. The paint to differentiate the skin from the fur. All the paint with the blood. All his cuts and wounds look great. His gnarly teeth look disgusting. And I think just overall, the look of the figure is just great. I think he looks tremendous. Let me actually turn on... Oh, don't have any more lights to turn on. This looks very dark. I hope it doesn't actually turn out very dark, but the figure just looks tremendous. I think they got a perfect, like, they literally made it look like right out the movie. I don't know how they did it, but they did a great job with it. So, let me stop gushing over it, and we'll go over some articulation. I thought I was at a different part in the video. But, starting at the head here. At the head, there is a ball joint that can look up extremely far. You can literally look straight up for some reason. He can look down. This head, not very nice, but the other one does look down a little bit more. It has a ball joint so it can rotate around. The head is a little angled though, so it comes around angled. It doesn't spin 360 like that. At the shoulders, they come up quite far. This is actually, let me adjust this quick so it's a little easier. They come up this far and go back down. They're very smooth, all these joints. It's nice and tight. They don't get any loose at all. They're very nice. And at the bicep here, he does have a bicep swivel. A lot of NECA figures don't have that. But even on top of that, he has the usual double jointed elbow and then the swivel at the elbow. He has both. So they really went all out on this sculpt. I'm pretty sure this figure has come out a couple of times before. Like, this isn't like a re-release of the figure. I don't think this is the first release. But it looks really, really good. And all the articulation works really, really good. You can see it's got the swivel here. And there is the swivel at this part too. So they went all out on him. At the hand here, it does rotate all the way around. And then you have a hinge. And the articulation on every hand is the same. At the torso here, he is a little bit like uneven, but it is on purpose. I'm guessing that's just to match the look of the original movie, kind of that handmade uneven, you know, unsymmetrical, asymmetrical. That's the word. All right, so at the torso here, he bends forward. Very nice, but he has that weird lump on his back. Might have to get that checked out. It looks a little weird. But the sculpting is all the way up for it, so at least I can give them that they did sculpt all the way so it doesn't look bad. But he crunches pretty far forward. He goes very far back. And of course, it's on a ball joint, so you get your usual diaphragm goodness of moving around like this. which I actually really do. Ooh, knock the light over. But I really do like this kind of ab articulation, especially when it's done right like this, because it works so smooth and it looks better most of the time. It looks better than a normal ab crunch. In this case, the sculpting of the back kind of ruins it, but it still looks good. So at the legs here, they kick forward that far. And of course, like NECA figures, it has that rubber overlay. So when you're kicking forward, be careful. Don't hold it in poses for a very, very long time, because it'll kind of, the plastic will morph to look like that. And then when you move the leg down, it'll still be up like that. And even on this side, you can see it. It goes in a little bit. And on this side, it always comes out. So you can tell it's already taken its toll. But usually if you put the figure back in a neutral pose, over time, it'll kind of even out again. But just, it's something to be wary about. He does have a nice tight thigh swivel. At the knee, it is a nice thick double jointed knee, big monkey leg. Trying to not block the light here. It's his arm actually, but you can see he's got a nice big double joint. I think the sculpt of the knees look really good, and the sculpt of the elbows look good too. I didn't really look at it, but it looks good because he has really, really long limbs, as you could probably have noticed. And sometimes when you get really long limbs like that, when they bend, they look even worse. But in this case, they look pretty good. So then there is, of course, rotation at both of these on the leg. I don't really know what the use would be for this, but kind of like an ankle swivel, I guess it would be. Kind of the same use as that. So at the foot here, there is kind of a swivel. Not really. It goes down that much. Very tight joints on the feet here. It goes up pretty decently. And then, of course, we've got a nice ankle pivot, which really just circles out the figure. It just brings it all the way around. It really completes the whole kind of look of this guy. And he has the articulation to match. And I will say it, I'll admit that this guy, he feels like Monster Arts quality for literally NECA prices, which is unbelievable. I think NECA is doing an amazing job, and they should keep doing what they're doing. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people, they complain a little bit too much about NECA stuff. I feel like they're doing a great job, and they're even trying. You can tell when people complain about stuff, they take the feedback, and they give it back, which I really like about NECA. Yo, I'm about to get emotional. NECA, please sponsor me, or do something, I don't know. Post one of my pictures on your Instagram. Alright, so back to the figure. The accessories that this guy comes with is great. And now we don't have to really be as zoomed out. I can bring it back in a little bit. So, starting with, I guess we'll do interchangeable hands here. He comes with his gripping hand, his monkey hand here. You can see it looks very good. And the size of it, it's a little big, but with the size of the figure, it fits so that you can have him grabbing people by the leg, picking them up and holding them up. I had him holding Spider-Man like that. It looked really good. And I think it's a great attachment to have, or well, I guess a great hand to have, because I checked it out. And a couple of the other Kongs don't have the gripping hand, which sucks, because with a guy like Kong, he uses tools, weapons, he grabs people, all the stuff. So, the next accessory we'll go with is his stick here, his weapon of choice. I think it looks really good. The detailing on it is great. The sculpt is very high detailed, and then they put a nice wash over it to give it that nice natural look. Having an allergic reaction over here or something, I don't know, I'm just trucking through. But we can see his hand's nice and loose, so you can get the stick in there without having to worry about paint rub, because usually with NECA figures, a problem is a lot of the time, they put the hands a little too tight, and if you don't loosen them up a lot, it scrapes on the tools, something that Casey Jones had a problem with. But this guy, I can happily say, does not have that issue. And the stick is cool. Looks very good. It's really big, so it's not really something you can use with multiple figures, but of course, comes with both gripping hands for each side. And then for his next pair of hands, he comes with these more open palm grabbing, or I guess you could be monkey fist walking or something. But these hands look really, really good. And I'm super glad they came with them, because I think it's not even just Dragon Ball figures or anything like that. I think every single figure ever should come with open hands. There's got to be open, fist, and then grabbing hands. And those are perfect. That is literally, if you're only putting those hands, those are all you need. Of course, Comes with them for both sides. The sculpt is a little bit different on each of them. Like the thumb is all the way out on this one. Thumb is a little bit in. Not really focusing. Let me get them hands behind there. But there's very minuscule changes, but it is nice to have two different sculpts. It just adds extra. You could use both of them for different poses. Maybe one's a little more dramatic, one's not. But I think they look really good. And of course, it's all a great addition. Forgot to mention it though. All these hands do have the fur on the back, and it looks really good. It matches perfectly with the tone and stuff of the other ones. That's usually an issue. Well, I guess Marvel Legends would be the main one I think of, where paints, like the colors and tones, don't really match up. But this guy does not have an issue. All his fur looked really good, and all of it matches up too. Excuse me. But next accessory I guess we'll go over will be the dinosaurs that come with him. So first we've got this dude. I think they call him the well monster or something. Let me check the box really quick. What do they call him? The pit monster. Yeah. So it comes with the pit monster for Kong to either fight or live with, maybe eat. I had him doing that. And this guy actually does have articulation. He's got a little ball joint at the head here. You can look around a little bit. And then he's got a nice little hinge at the jaw. Doesn't move a whole lot, but I guess having it is nice. Now, the paint sculpt on this guy is pretty decent. There isn't a whole lot of paint, but the sculpt looks really good. A lot of nice textures and weird underbelly textures and stuff. I think it all looks really good. And this just adds to the bonus of the figure, because not only do you get this man, the pit monster, they also add in a nice little pterodon here, which also looks really good. I think it feels like they're adding just extra stuff. I really like the paint on the back, the red and blue. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Rodan. Maybe it's like a reference, like, oh, Rodan, look at him, maybe. It's probably just a generic pterodon. As you can see, he's got some jaw articulation, just a hinge, just like the other one. And then he's got another ball joint at the head. Well, it's a ball and a hinge, but it looks really good, and it works really good, just for the extra bonus. This is another one of those things you could just have him fighting, beating, eating, anything. It's just all nice little bonus stuff. Now with this guy, the what do you call those, talons? They're a little all messed up. Out of the box, you probably have to warm them up and heat them, or heat them up and then reshape them. I did not do that, but I don't really care. It's just a little extra bonus dude to put them with. And then to finish it all up, because I'm dying over here, we have the interchangeable head. Now, the heads, I really didn't get into the detail a lot with the other one, and you can't really see it because of his thick eyebrows. Let me get the light. But the eyes, there's a lot of nice detail on the eyes in this guy. They look almost lifelike, and I really like it. You can't really see it at all, which sucks, but the eyes look really, really good. And this mouth is more of a, I guess, cartoonish look. You can tell with the big jowls. You can actually look inside of his mouth. It's all sculpted out nicely, all painted great. And this mouth does have a little bit of articulation, just a nice hinge, which works pretty good. This is the head that I would use for him to eat. Like if you just want to stick this man's head inside his mouth, ooh, you get where I'm going here. Kong stopped to have a little bit of a lunch break. And I think this also looks really good, and it adds more of a, I guess it would be posing difference. Like you could have him eating stuff now, you could have him screaming, you could have him yelling, and I think with the mouth being able to close, it gives more of a basic kind of no emotion Kong. Like if Kong was just walking down the street or something, I think it looks a lot better for that. Let me get some light on it. Ooh, nice. Now, I think I do like this head a little more than this one, just because this one kind of fits for more of the generic emotions, more anything other than being angry, which I do like that they included it. And the scratches and wounds are different. I kind of don't like that, because if you're doing a continuity look, like if you're doing a story with them and you want to change heads, the scars and stuff aren't in the same place and the wounds aren't in the same place, which is a little upsetting, but it's fine. And the one last thing with this head is the tooth. The teeth look really good. It's just my tooth right here. It got caught on the outside in the box, and I guess it's kind of stuck like that. You'd also have to heat this up, which NECA figures, you got to do a lot of heating up and moving stuff around, warming it up. But I think once it gets done, it all looks great. So bringing the big man back and doing some, finally getting to some comparisons here. So we'll start with other NECA figures, just like to show the scale here. Here we got Jason Voorhees, which is usually the reason I have to back up the camera, but Kong is even bigger than him. And then Casey Jones, and this just being next to these two, which are pretty tall figures, but really just look at the heft of this guy, because you would pay the same price. Well, Casey's more expensive, but for this Jason, when he came out, you would pay the same price for him as this Kong, which is unbelievable, because just look at the amount of stuff you get with him is great. And it's just like a steal of a deal, and he looks great, and it's like high quality figure for cheap figure prices, which is just great. I can't thank NECA enough for kind of continuing this great quality. They just keep getting better and better. So now moving this guy out of the way and getting to more of what recent times would want to see, the Godzillas. So we have the NECA, I think it's 1984, Biollante, or Godzilla versus Biollante Godzilla. And then, ooh, we got King of the Monsters, Burning Godzilla. And I want to get them more close together so you can get a more accurate height. But I think he looks pretty good with these Godzillas. I don't think NECA has released anything for Godzilla vs. Kong, and I sadly don't think they will be releasing anything. But I think even not being direct, like movie look, this Kong would fit if you wanted it. I feel like he has the right look, enough of a look of Kong to fit. And I think he looks good with the Godzillas too, and with all the accessories, the hands, the faces. You can have them. You can set up nice fight scenes with them just scrapping, and I think it looks great. And I really don't think there could be any more I could say that could push more towards recommending this figure, because it is really an unbelievable figure. And for the price, the amount of stuff you get, it's just amazing. So I've been trying to cut down the time of this video, and I think I did pretty decent here. Kind of stopped mumbling, fumbling, stumbling. And I think we're doing pretty good. And this is a very good figure. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I recommend the figure. Amazing. 120% recommend. And if you find him, purchase him. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. The next review is probably going to be... yeah. NECA, Marty McFly, the Battle of the Bands one. I finally got that. That's the next review. I'll see you guys then when we get nasty with some guitar.